Hello everybody, and welcome back to Thrills and Gills. Nice to see everybody back on the tide again, and today we are working with my other puffer. This is a dragon or humpback puffer, and unlike our last puffer, this one is from Southeast Asia. And due to this, we are once again back to the lower pHs in the acidic 6.8 to 7.0. But they could possibly go lower to about 6.5 if you really feel like it. Now, at a first glance, it's kind of easy to tell why they get the name humpback. If we just take it from here, and there we go. You can see he has this huge dent in the back. And this is not a malformity. This is how they're supposed to be. And if you're wondering where they get the dragon name, well, for a while, I had no idea. But I believe it has to do with these little nostril thingies coming out of his face. I could be completely wrong on that. But for now, that's what I believe it is. So, unlike our other puffer, even though this is an ambush predator as well, it acts a lot more like one. It's much more lethargic, sits in one place a lot of the time. It will move. I mean, it does move and, look around its tank, but it's not as active as the Congo puffer. These also do not bury themselves. They don't really have the body shape for it either. You can tell they have the much more traditional puffed out body. And this is what they look like in their neutral state, not inflated. Now, for your average one, I'd say having a 20 to 30 gallon tank is probably good, but you could also say 50 might also be a decent size. I still think it might be a little bit overkill. However, these puffers in particular do get much bigger. This one on its own is already twice the size of our Congo puffer. And if you have learned anything about puffers at this point, this next fact will not shock you. They are not compatible with anything. I've seen many sites that say that you could possibly put them with fast-moving fish and maybe with their own kind, but once again, as I've said with pretty much any puffer, I wouldn't personally risk it unless you really know what you're doing or you have a lot of money. And even then, I don't even have the capacity to do that to other fish. So, we're going to say that this is a keep on its own species only fish. However, and I did forget to mention this with my Congo puffer, but plants are completely good with these fish. They don't really do anything with them, but they do, they won't uproot them or anything. Surprising, too, for even the Congo puffer to not do that, despite the fact that the Congo puffer is known for digging all the time. So, just like the Congo puffer, feeding is pretty much the same. You can give them some live feeders, and then also give them bloodworms and brine. You could also give them thawed shrimp. The biggest thing that makes this guy different, besides the pH, is his size. He is actually younger than our other puffer, and he's much bigger. It's probably kind of hard to tell, so I'll give a little reference of size to how big he is. Hopefully that helps a little bit show how big he is compared to my hand. While our other puffer is just about the size of my index. Actually, not even. It's actually a little bit smaller. So, dragon puffers, cost-wise, they can range anywhere from 50 to 150, so they're actually in a cheaper range than our friend the Congo, but still relatively expensive compared to a lot of other puffers, except for maybe the Fahaka and the Baboo. Substrate-wise, even though this puffer doesn't fully bury itself, it does like to wallow. This is to help with parasites and just to be comfortable. So just like the Congo, you want to make sure that they have good sand. You know, nice plush substrate, so they don't damage their skin. Otherwise, do I suggest this one as a good pet? Actually, I do, and I think I actually rank it a little bit higher than the Congo, because you could potentially start with this one first, just because, yes, it has pretty much all the same care requirements as the Congo, but it's usually a lot cheaper. Now, one reason for that may be because of its color, but honestly, I think it has really good color, and I really like the eyes, too. I think it's really nice that we have one puffer that has completely blue turquoise eyes, and then this one's got big, deep red, orangey eyes. Oh, I almost forgot to mention, infections. So, puffers are susceptible to infections, but they're not super duper susceptible to them. Like other scaleless fish are. Their eyes are usually the things that can get some crap on them. This one you could see that I just got recently, by the way. He's got a little bit of goop on his eye, but we'll clear that up in about a week. So, overall, I'd say this is a pretty good puffer to have, and I think if you don't want to deal with the brackish puffers, or you don't want to deal with the gigantic foot-long Maboo and Fahaka puffer, or you don't want the little bitty pea puffer, these two are both really good options because they're pure freshwater, they don't require a boatload of care requirements, and they're overall still pretty cool to look at. And honestly, I think they're actually probably cooler to look at. They have really unique body shapes, and they both have kind of unique behaviors. One that buries, and then, well, honestly, I don't actually know what this one does yet. Well, this individual. I don't really know if the dragon puffer has any specific abilities that make it stick out from other puffers. But one thing that is different from our Congo puffer is that this one can inflate itself. It can inflate with air, which is lethal, and it can inflate with water, which is less lethal, but probably still not recommended. Fun fact, if they inflate when they're fully grown, they can be almost as big as a soccer ball. Don't screw with these guys. Oh, that's another thing. Speaking of, you know, messing with this fish, they have a very nasty bite. I don't know if you could see it. Maybe he'll show it to us. If he just... You might see it click every so often in his little mouth. But that is his jaws back there. He does have a very strong beak. They're technically 4 teeth, but we call it a beak just because of how they're designed. And they can give a pretty powerful and nasty little bite. So, I do not suggest in any situation, even if you're trying to get this fish out of the net, do not try to put your hands near this thing. This thing could probably take a finger from you, no problem. Same goes for the Congo puffer, but the Congo puffer isn't as big, so I wouldn't be as worried. It would still hurt, but this guy I could definitely see doing some real damage. So, besides all that, I think it's a good puffer. I think it's a cool fish overall. I mean, as I said, the cons, it's super aggressive. It is a little steep in price. But really, besides that, there's really not that many other issues about it. So, that's all for this video. And for the next couple of weeks, we're going to be posting some more things. And next time, I also have another very, very special couple of fishes that I think you'll all enjoy. But you'll just have to figure out what those are when I put up the polls. So, until then, it was great to once again come back and do another video. And this time, I swear, I won't go on a hiatus. I promise. I'll see you guys on the high tide. Bye!